राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा, प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन व्रज 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 जन रंजन, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा, जय राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we will be singing this beautiful song, Sri Nanda Nandana Ashtakam, which describes the beauty of Nanda Nandana Krishna. सुचारुवक्त्रमण्डलं सुकर्णरत्नकुण्डलं सुचर्चिताङ्गचन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं, नमामि नन्दनन्दनं, नमामि नन्दनन्दनं, नमामि नन्दनन्दनं, नमामि नन्दनन्दनं। सुदीर्घनेत्रपङ्कजं शिखण्डमूर्धजम् अनङ्गकोटिमोहनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं, नमामि नन्दनन्दनं, नमामि नन्दनन्दनं, नमामि नन्दनन्दनं, नमामि नन्दनन्दनं। सुनासिकाग्रमौक्तिकं स्वच्छन्ददन्तपङ्क्तिकं नवाम्बुदाङ्गचित्रणं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं करेण वेणुरञ्जितं गतिकरीन्द्रगञ्जितं दुकूलपीतशोभनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं त्रिभङ्गदेहसुन्दरं नखद्युतिसुधाकरम् अमूल्यरत्नभूषणं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं सुगन्धाङ्गसौरभं पुरोविराजिकौस्तुभं सुरश्रीवत्सलाञ्छनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं वृन्दावनासुनागरं विलासनोगवाससं सुरेन्द्रगर्वमोचनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं व्रजाङ्गनासुनायकं सदा सुखप्रदायकं जगन्मनप्रलोभनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनम् श्रीनन्दनन्दनाष्टकं पठेतया श्रद्धान्विता तरेद्भवाब्धिन्दुस्तरं लभेत् त्वदङ्घ्रियुग्मकं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनं नमामि नन्दनन्दनम्. So we are going to now read the translation. I offer pranam to Nandanandana, whose face is extremely delightful, in whose beautiful ears hang jeweled earrings, and whose entire body is anointed with fragrant chandana. I offer pranams to Nandanandana, whose eyes are more beautiful than the fully bloomed lotus, whose head is beautifully adorned with an arrangement of peacock feathers, and who enchants millions of cupids. I offer pranams to Nandanandana, from whose beautiful nose hangs an elephant pearl, whose teeth are immensely effulgent, whose bodily complexion is more beautiful and lustrous than a fresh rain cloud. I offer pranams to Nandanandana, from whose lotus hands holds the flute, whose lingering gait defeats even that of an impassioned elephant, and whose dark limbs are beautified by a yellow shawl. I offer pranams to Nandanandana, whose threefold bending posture is exquisitely elegant, the effulgence of whose two nails put to shame even the moon, and who wears invaluable jewels and ornaments. I offer pranam to Nandanandana, whose body exudes an especially beautiful fragrance and whose broad chest is adorned with the Kaustubha jewel and the mark of Srivatsa. I offer pranam to Nandanandana, the expert lover of Vrindavan, who performs immaculate pastimes and who is attired in clothes which are suitable for those pastimes, and who pulverized the pride of King Indra. I offer pranams to Nandanandana, who, as the lover of the Vrajagopis, perpetually delights them and who enchants the minds of all living entities. Whoever regularly recites this Sri Nandanandanashtakam will easily cross the seemingly insurmountable ocean of material existence and attain eternal residence at the lotus feet of Krishna. So,
we can have some more kirtan because Charu Prabhuji has not yet joined.
Anyone wants to do the kirtan?
We can have one more kirtan.
Raksha Mataji.
Samta Mataji, please, you do. Tomorrow I am going to do. Samta Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I'll just give me a second to figure out the song. Second, please.
Do you want me to sing something as you figure
Yes,
out?
Mataji, if you can just.
Okay. I will sing one song which also describes the beauty of Krishna. बंधु संगे जदि तव रंग परिहास बंधु संगे जदि तव रंग परिहास थाके अभिलाष थाके अभिलाष थाके अभिलाष थाके अभिलाष बंधु संगे जदि तव रंग परिहास बंधु संगे जदि तव रंग परिहास तबे मोरा कथा राखा जेओ नाको तबे मोरा कथा राखा जेओ नाको मथुरा केशी तीर्थ घाटेर साकाश मथुरा केशी तीर्थ घाटेर साकाश बंधु संगे जदि तव रंग परिहास गोविंद विग्रह धरी तथाय আছে না হরি গোবিন্দ বিগ্রহ ধরি তথায় আছে না হরি নয়নে বঙ্কিম দৃষ্টি মুখে মন্দহাস নয়নে বঙ্কিম দৃষ্টি মুখে মন্দহাস किमा त्रिभंगमाठाम वर्ण समुज्वल श्याम किमा त्रिभंगमाठाम वर्ण समुज्वल श्याम नव किशलय शोभा श्री अंगे प्रकाश नव किशलय शोभा श्री अंगे प्रकाश बंधु संगे जदि तव रंग परिहास बंधु संगे जदि तव रंग परिहास अधरे वंशीति तार अनर्थेरा मूलाधार अधरे वंशीति तार अनर्थेरा मूलाधार शिक्की चूड़ा के ओ भाई कोरोना विश्वास शिक्की चूड़ा के ओ भाई कोरोना विश्वास से मूर्ति नयने हेरे केह नाही घरे फिरे से मूर्ति नयने हेरे केह नाही घरे फिरे संसारी गृही राजे गो होए सर्वनाश संसारी गृहे राजे गो होए सर्वनाश ताई मोरा मने गो बड़ा त्रास घटिबे विपद भारी जेओ ना कोहे संसारी घटिबे विपद भारी जेओ ना कोहे संसारी मथुराए केशी तीर्थ घाटेर सकाश मथुराए केशी तीर्थ घाटे रसकाश बंधु संगे जदि तव रंग परिहास बंधु संगे जदि तव रंग परिहास. So we'll read the translation. If you want to enjoy laughing and joking with friends and family, if this is really your desire, then listen to me. Don't go to Mathura, Vrindavan, to Keshi Ghat. There, Sri Hari has taken the form of Govinda, who gives pleasure to all, whose crooked glance is quite captivating, whose mouth is gently smiling, who is standing in his Tribhanga pose, whose complexion is a very effulgent shama color, and whose limbs are attractive like tender new leaves. The sound of his Vamshi enthroned upon his lips is the root cause of madness. Brother, have no faith in that person who wears a crest of peacock feathers. If you see that form, you will not be able to return home again. Your family life will be destroyed. This is my great fear. There will be great danger if you go there. If you want to enjoy family life, don't go to Mathura near Keshi Ghat.
Yes, this is actually based on a verse by Rupa Goswami. Very nice.
Meran Bhangit Raya Prajita.
Yes.
It's a beautiful verse.
We can start the class, Mataji. Charu Prabhuji will join later.
Okay, so we will do the Mangalacharan. Sanjeev Prabhu, you're doing the. So can you do the Mangalacharan, Prabhu? Or you want me to do?
Sure. I will just need a minute to find.
Prabhu can't hear you.
Yes, Mati, I can do. Just I will need a minute.
Okay, you can do. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. I will do without looking. Let's see how much do I remember. Okay. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Tadatika Vadankitam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Papagata Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Lalita Tamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vashari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Got obeisances to Prabhupada. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtaaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharya Devashish Srimadi Paschatya Tirtha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay. So how much time do I have, Mataji? Or probably till 7:45, right?
Yes.
Okay.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. We usually sing Krishna Leela Stava. Can I find that and sing that as well, or should I start the revision?
No, you start the revision because it will be late.
Archana Mataji probably doesn't have that many slides today. Maybe it can take like a longer time if we need it. Is it right, Archana Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, not slides, only like 6, 7
Yeah.
slides, not many
Yeah,
slides.
so I think he can take more time if he wants.
Okay, then I will just sing the Krishna Leela Stava, which we usually do.
Go ahead, Prabhu. You can do it.
One minute. Just find that. Yeah. Just 1 minute. Okay, maybe I will. Okay. Oh, I
You want
found-
PowerPoint, so we can
No,
show it.
yes, I found. Okay, I can't. I will do it later then. Okay, let me start with the revision. 1 minute, I will share my screen. Maybe I will do that at the end. So, okay, I am sharing my screen. Is it visible? So,
Not yet.
not yet. Now it should work. Okay, last week Mataji did very nicely, lesson 46. Okay. In that, this is a continuation of chapter 14, where now Brahmaji has, Lord Brahma has left back for his, Lord Brahma has offered very wonderful prayers, but Krishna has stayed silent. So Brahmaji takes, takes the uh, context that, or he assumes that the Lord has pardoned him, so he walks away, and then Krishna, who is Ichha Shakti, which is Yogamaya, gets back all the gopas and the calf, and everything is restored back to what it was 1 year before. But for everyone else, it looks like it was just 1 second. So that part, verses 40 to 48, we'll recap. Then Shukdev Goswami explains the analogy, which was raised by Maharaj Parikshit, which is like, how did the gopis love Krishna even more than they love their own son? So we'll recap that part. There's a very important section here we all need to understand once again and rehash. And finally, Sukhdev Goswami explains how the condition or selfish soul perspective can desirably change when cultivated through bhakti or loving devotional service to Krishna. Final slide is the Shruti Phala and the conclusion. So let's get to it. Slide 1 here, the question I will start with. How did Brahma, or slide 2, sorry, how did Krishna give his consent to Lord Brahma for leaving? What did he do? So, Krishna. Yeah, who can try that?
I will start, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
No, go,
Okay.
Prabhuji, go,
Okay, I'll
carry
start.
on.
Okay. So I just waited for a moment, no, somebody. So it's again, Krishna did not give explicitly consent. He kept, his same form. Brahma, after waiting for some time, he did thought that this is his consent and decided to, this is implicit consent, right? And he decided to leave.
Correct.
But Krishna did not give. Krishna explicitly did not tell him, go or stay. He didn't say anything, kept mum.
Correct. And Brahmaji assumed that he has been pardoned and he left. And then there is further commentary we covered in the class in the previous and previous to previous week. So that we can rehash and read. Now, after this, all the gopas and cowherd boys has been restored. There are different explanations as to where the original covered boys and calf were placed. What was the explanation of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur? What is his opinion? Who written it and who made them?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mother.
When Lord Brahma went to his abode, Satyaloka, then Krishna brought back the cows, and the cows were exactly there. But they were in the different dimension,
Correct.
and they were they were covered by Yoga Maya Shakti, and then Krishna brought in the
Correct. Yes, Mother. So it was Yog Maya who hid them. Brahma stole another duplicate copy, and that is why when Krishna returned, they thought it's just one moment that we'll study, and they greeted Krishna with a lot of intensity, and they thought he has just been out for a minute. We covered in the previous class. Suswagatam was the wonderful word they said, that please come. Then slide
Hare-
3.
Hare
You
Krishna.
can, yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. When Krishna came back came back, the Gopa friends thought that Krishna has come in a in a minute. Very quickly he came, and Krishna was they were by Yoga Maya, they were due to Yoga Maya Shakti, they were bewildered. Not Yoga Maya, Mahamaya Shakti. They were bewildered by Brahma's, bewildered. Then when Krishna came, they thought that when Krishna went to take the cows, they thought that he will take some time, and but he came back immediately, and they thought that Krishna has come so quickly, and we have not finished our even that morsel we had taken earlier, and Krishna also had the same morsel in the same hand, left hand.
Absolutely nice. A very wonderful recap. Very wonderful recap. Right. So I will start the question from here in this slide. Why did Yog Maya preserve everything in the pristine state? So as you said, when they came back, everything was restored back to the same state as it was 1 year before. Why did Yoga Maya, which is Ichha Shakti of the Lord, do that? I have highlighted Prasad Prabhu. You're there? He's not here today.
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
हाँ, क्योंकि जो भगवान की जो शक्ति है वो भगवान को सेवा करती है, भगवान की इच्छा शक्ति से पूरा वापस जो एटमॉस्फेयर है वो चेंज हो गया, और जैसे था वैसा हो गया. लगा कि एक ही सेकंड में सब बदल गया. तो भगवान की योगमय शक्ति से ये सब पॉसिबल हुआ. प्रभुजी.
Correct. And well, the actual part is she did that so that when all these Gopa boys and calf, when they go back now they can sing the glories of Krishna, that okay, Krishna today killed the giant python. उनको पता नहीं ना 1 साल हो गया, तो उनको लग रहा है 1 सेकंड ही हो गया. And then Yog Maya restored back everything, like we see here. Even the dead skin of Aghasur was put back as it is. Krishna holding the meal as it is. The taste of the meal did not change. Everything was put back to what it was by the Ichha Shakti, so that they don't feel any difference, and now they can go back and continue to sing the glories of the Lord. And through that glories, it is said here that they are purifying the whole world. Right? And there is one more point here. I'm not asking as a question, but just reminding everyone is like, or for the entities like us who are in illusion, it is Mahamaya who works. But on the spiritually charged, elevated soul, right, who are already devotees, the direct devotees, it is Yog Maya who makes them forget. Right? So it is that same Yog Maya here acts as Mahamaya, who made them forget that it was 1 year, so they did not feel it is 1 year and the pain of separation. Right? So that's the summary or recap of this slide. Now let's go to slide 4. So here we start with the question, how did the covered by glorify Krishna? I think I touched this, but again, it's important because Shukdev Goswami is repeating, so we have to. How did they glorify Krishna when they were going back?
When they returned back to Brija, the cowherd boys were singing that Krishna has saved us by killing the serpent Aghasur.
Some referred to him as Nanda Nandana Krishna, others as
Some were calling him by Nandanandan, some were by Yashodanandan.
Okay. So Mataji, you answer the next question as well, because it's
Oh.
related here. What is the festival for the covered women or Brajavasis? What is the festival for them? The feast for them?
Krishna was looking very beautiful, garland, flower garland, and peacock feathers, and bamboo flute, and he was calling at that time by name the cows, and when they entered, he was looking very. His beauty was he was looking very beautiful. Then it was just like a feast for the Braj people. So his beauty only, and that the children were singing that he has saved us. All these things enjoyed the people.
Beholding Krishna through their vision was the feast for them, and all that beauty you described nicely. So they even curse, we know that they curse the creator, why they had to miss the vision of Krishna for split second when the eyes blink. Yes, thank you. So we covered that. Now next is we go to slide 6. This is the most challenging slide where Shukdev Goswami explains the anomaly, but Mataji made it very simple and easy for us. So we'll just quickly revise now. So we'll start with in what 3 ways, as per Parikshit Maharaj, if some object is dear to us, right? If some object is dear to us, then there are 3 ways to determine why is that. So here it is. What are those 3 ways? What are those 3 ways in which Parikshit Maharaj says that an object can be dear to us?
May I answer my question?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, Parikshit says that 3 things affection occurs in one of the 3 ways. That is the beauty of the object, then the possession of the object, and a family relationship.
Correct. So now he analyzes further that all these 3 ways do not apply in the situation where the Gopa boys have been replaced, like when Krishna, because of Brahma Vimohan Leela, is coming in the form of Gopa boys, right? So Krishna expanded and transformed himself, expanded and then took the form of those Gopa boys and the calf. So none of these 3 ways apply. Okay, then still, why do the gopi, the gopis and the mother gopis, they love Krishna more than their own son? So what is it? So that we continue. So this is the
because
first part of
they
the,
were
yeah.
the covered boys looked like same as they were in their on dress and all very very identical, and but they were looking, but the Brij women were showing more love for Krishna, because Krishna for the for the boys, for their children, because Krishna was himself exist in between in
Enacting.
boys.
Yes, yes, Mataji. You answered the next question. So it was because of Krishna, and as Charuprabhu said, it is the aura or the beauty of the Krishna reflecting through them, and that's why they had like more. And these are ragatmika devotees, so they naturally are attracted wherever Krishna is, right? So yes, that is correct. Thank you. Then the next question here
Prabhuji,
is,
may I add one point extra?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know whether it is correct. Due to Ragatmak Bhakti, they loved more than their children because in Ragatmak Bhakti, जो उनका जो soul है, that soul, that Krishna also loved them.
Yes.
This may be the reason also.
Yes, because
Because
it's
if one
dual.
person
Yes.
is attached, automatically the other persons is attached towards him.
Mataji, I
This
think
may
that's
be, this is
a
correct.
possible point. Yeah, though I would have Charu Prabhu or Sir validate that, but I think that's right. Because Krishna also says that I respond depending on how much you, the way you respond, right? So that can be a point as well, right?
I don't know whether it is correct or
Yeah, it's a good point. Good point.
So,
Thank you very much.
Sukhdev
Because
Goswami,
Ragatmika devotees, Krishna also equally very close to them, you know.
Yes, that's why
Good point, Mataji. Benji.
thank you, Vaidji. Thank you.
so now to take this analogy further, then Sukhdev Goswami, I will just read through because it's out of time. Then he amplifies this by giving us 3 more mandatory points to internalize. One is that Krishna himself, his beauty is infinitely much more greater than the boys. Okay, so even if he is taking the form, his beauty is still not changed, and hence, as we said, because the Ragatma Bhakta are directly attracted, so is Krishna, so they are more attracted to them. And unlike any ordinary woman, this is about the Vraja Gopis, that's what we already discussed. Finally, their possessiveness for Krishna was greater than the possessiveness for Krishna in the form of the sun. So even when, and so was their kindred. So even when Krishna came in the form of the sun, their attraction for them increased, and also the attraction for the Krishna in the original form, that also continued. Hopefully that clarifies so far, and then we continue to the next slide. Now here there is a explanation about Swa-Atma and Paramatma, like who, what is each and how is our attraction to them, right? So who is actually dearer to us? Who is actually actually all the Atma we are, like all of us Jivatma or the Swa-Atma we call, who is actually more dearer to us to more than in the ideal state, in the real state. Okay, so Harsha Mataji, you can try again. Who else is there? Prasad Prabhu?
Paramatma,
Yes, yes. Well,
Paramatma is Krishna, who is situated in everyone's heart, and he is dear to own self and then everyone else to oneself.
correct, correct. And that is what, thank you, Mataji.
So
Yes,
Atma
and
or
that is-
Jivatma, the individual
Yes.
soul.
And then that is what Sukhdev Goswami explain in those.
Explains that it is oneself is automatic and direct experience, but to like others, it is conditional.
Correct, correct, correct. So that is the ideal state. Then, because of the illusion or because of our conditioning, then, as Prabhupada says in the purport, that we become more attached to our bodily identity, the I-ness or my-ness. Although we may say that we are very proud of, like, patriot in a society or something, but actually what we do, we love ourselves, and that is a natural attraction. We don't need any validation or confirmation to love our own self. That is to have a feeling for anyone else. We need to think like, okay, that also we would love only conditionally. So love to our own self is unconditional. That is in this conditioned state. But actually we all love Paramatma. That is what Sukhdev Goswami is pointing out. Now let's continue with the next step in the.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, यहाँ पे एक दूसरा पॉइंट ले सकते हैं कि
Yes,
जो
Mataji.
हमें जड़ और चेतन ग्रंथि जो है हमारी, हम जड़ और चेतन ग्रंथि से बंधे हैं। तो रियल आईनेस इज आई एम द सर्वेंट ऑफ लॉर्ड, आई एम नॉट दिस सर्व उपाधि विनिर्मुक्त। हमें ये सब उपाधियों से मुक्त होना है, और रियल उपाधि है कि हम कृष्णा के हैं। वो ले सकते हैं ना प्रभु जी, यहाँ पे पॉइंट ये।
Meaning, when our conditioning goes away and our bhakti saturates, or the day we surrender to the Lord, from that point onwards, apna false ego starts converting into or transforming into
रियल
true
ईगो,
ego.
रियल ईगो।
Yeah, the more we grow in bhakti, the more we are in true ego, or vice versa. The more we are in true ego, the more we are serving. That's what you're saying, Mataji, right?
यस प्रभु जी।
That's correct. But yeah, Acharya Prabhu or Sadhu, please add your thoughts here.
Good point.
Okay, so we continue. Thank you very much, Mataji. So now here, what is the difference between the person who has such vivek and who does not have such vivek? Right? What is the difference between that?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prasad Prabhu, you have been quiet, please.
See, the person no viveka is like so. One second, Prabhu. Okay, a person who has no viveka, discrimination between the soul and body, mind complex and anarthaka, still has a desire to live. Okay, whereas someone who has viveka, let it die or let it live. So, yeah, non-viveka is like, so he's more connected to the body, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay, and then let viveka is like, he will let go. Okay, he will let live. Okay, that is of the more, yeah, more. It is.
So, this is what Mataji. Yes, Prabhu, you're right. Now, what Mataji described, Jivit Tasa or Bali Asi, that the desire to avoid death is very, very strong. But a person with vivek or some discernment, gradually he gives up that because he thinks I am the soul and this is the body. So he can discriminate between the soul and the body and knows his true self, as we said, and then he can gradually give up that. Right? So this is being explained to bring up that analogy of Swa-Atma, what is mine, what is not actually we are, and then who is the real lovable object here. Right? So that's what we are continuing.
The person who has self-realization gives no importance to body, whether he's alive or whether he dies. But the person who does not have knowledge give importance to body. He body को भी only in body. वो हाँ जी.
That's right.
और प्रभु जी, यहाँ पे हम ये भी सोच सकते हैं कि हमारा विवेक जो है वो कब जागृत हो सकता है। तो जब हम साधु शास्त्र और गुरु के शरण में जाते हैं और सत्संग करते हैं वैष्णव का, तब हमारा ये विवेक जागृत होता है कि हम क्या सही है क्या गलत है.
Correct, Mataji. That's how we need to continue.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I have 5 minutes more, so let me finish this quickly. So, what is the word Characharam indicate? We have this word Characharam here.
The moving living
Characharam.
entities like
Yes.
animals are and the non-moving living entities like the trees are known as Characharam. So further Prabhupada explains that like in case of the family and pets, they are moving possessions, and in case of house and household paraphernalia, that those are non-moving possessions.
Correct. So, in this context of Viveka and no Viveka, so those who don't the Viveka, first we love our body, then further extension we love all this Characharam. So that is the point. Too many attachments come, but as we all discussed, when we develop that further Vivek, we can discriminate, and also we get into the Yukta Vairagya, means use everything for service of them. So that we covered. Now we continue in this. So, if Krishna is the if Krishna is the supreme object of love, right? As we said in an ideal state, everyone should love Krishna, and he is Paramatma. Then why do the asuras don't love him? Why is that? What is happening to them?
Because Maya with the Avaran Shakti due to that covers
Yes,
the asura.
because of the conditioning, so that covers us. That's why they do not love him, or because of the desire. So then, continuing with that. Now, Nandanandana Krishna or Yashoda Nandan Krishna is soul of all souls, right? So that means he is the highest. So then, why does he appear as a one when he takes this avatar? He appears as a very simple person who is performing so simple activities. To us, he is appearing as a Archa Vigraha. But actually, I mean, he is not different from that also. But he is exalted. So why is he doing all that? What is the benefit he get?
Because he is the Jagat Hit. He comes for the benefit for the whole universe, especially to bestow his mercy to his devotees on account of his sweetness.
Correct. So that is this causeless mercy for all of us that he takes on this. So through this now, through all this conceptual event, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he concludes and he explains as this anomaly here. I will just read through this. He concludes that Nandananda Krishna or Yashodananda Krishna is highest object of sweet love. The Vraja Gopis loved him even more than they loved their own sons. Because he is revealed only by selfless bhakti, average folks in the bodily conception of life cannot perceive him as he is. So this Parikshit anomaly query is related to average people. He is asking on our behalf. So we can understand that the position of the Ragatmika devotees and Krishna. So because Ragatmika Vrajavasis were beyond the touch of Maya and full of love of Vraj Krishna, they could directly perceive him, even if they come in the form of their own son or different or direct, but they have. So they showed more love for him than their own sons. In one of the lectures, I also heard when our very exalted Prabhuji here, he said that every day the Matajis would give 2 lunch box to Krishna, 2 lunch box to their son, Gopasan, and say, okay, this not so good lunch box is for you, and this very good higher quality is for Krishna. And they would follow that. What I want to go and check back is what did they do when during the Brahma Vimohan Leela, when it was Krishna only. So that's context of research. So concluding 2 slides. Okay. Why do the wise conclude that Krishna is the ultimate object of love? I think we have discussed this sample, but let's conclude on this.
Krishna is the creator of all things, and he is himself is the creation.
Correct, correct. So naturally, because he is the creator, we are being created. So we have that direct resemblance there, right? And then why is it said that here? We already covered this part. Yes. Why is it said that the Nandananda Krishna is soul of all?
He is
Because he is
present
the
in.
form. Sorry,
Yes.
Mataji.
No, go ahead, please. Go ahead, Mataji, please.
Okay, he is the form of Bhagwan, and there are so many such forms. He is the ultimate object of everyone's love. Vastunam, entities. Bhava Artha, the original unmanifested casual phase of the material nature, and he is the final object of all the services.
So wonderful praise. Thank you, Madhuri, and wonderful praise today also to Nandananda Krishna. He is the and Yashodanandan Krishna. He is the ultimate object. So I think this was the last slide, and we have Shruti Pal here. Because I'm out of time, I will just read this for all. Any person who hears or chants these pastime of Lord Murari perform with his covered friend, the killing of Aghasur, the taking of lunch on the forest grass, the Lord's manifestation of transcendental form, and the wonderful prayers offered by Lord Brahma is sure to achieve all spiritual desires. So even if we do the revision, then we get that benefit. So we'll take that all. So thank you very much, and over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी स्मॉल पॉइंट मैं आई आस्क प्रभु जी, तो ये जो लीला थी, तो जब भी जो एनोमली समझाई गई, एक गोपिया थी जो पहले कृष्णा को बहुत प्रेम करती थी, अपने बच्चों से प्रेम से ज्यादा कृष्णा को प्रेम करती थी। फिर जब भी ब्रह्म विमोहन लीला जब शुरू हुई, प्रोसीडिंग थी, तभी जो गोपिया थी जो अपने बच्चों को बहुत प्रेम करती थी, क्योंकि वो कृष्णा ही थे। तो और थर्ड अभी जो जब भी खत्म हुआ ये लीला, तो फिर वापिस कृष्णा को ही प्रेम करने लगेगी, ऐसा है?
Yes, that was covered last time. That is all.
अच्छा,
You're right. You're
ओके
absolutely
प्रभु
right.
जी, ओके प्रभु जी।
And the final last point, which I did not cover, is this samsara sagar is a huge ocean for us. Usually we cannot cross, but when we take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, it becomes like a small baby calf hoofprint. We can just jump over. So by the mercy of Vaishnavas, we are engaged. So thank you. Over to you, Archana Mataji.
Very good job done, Prabhuji. And all of you also, rest of you participating, I feel very, very encouraged. Everyone is doing really good progress. That pleases me a lot. Hello, everybody can hear me?
यस प्रभु जी, इट इज योर ब्लेसिंग्स प्रभु जी, तो हम कर
some-
सके थोड़ा। थैंक यू
I
प्रभु
think
जी
Messenger
फॉर
ki
गिविंग
main-
अपॉर्चुनिटी।
I thought my image was frozen or what, Thank you. Is Mataji showing Archana Mataji?
Yeah,
Are you
Archana
showing the
Mataji, we
slide?
cannot hear you. I think you're
Sorry,
on.
I was muted. Sorry. So I will.
That's what I was wondering. I thought image was frozen or what. Go ahead, Archana Mataji.
मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Taking the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, especially Charu Prabhuji and Sharad Prabhuji and others, so that I can speak something valuable for everyone to hear. So let me begin today's presentation. Today we are going to take on chapter 15. Chapter 15 of the 10th canto, which is our 6th theme. In this theme, we have, this is the lesson 48, and we are going to do the first 40 shlokas of this chapter today. In this, we are going to talk about the significance of Gopashtami, and then we are going to speak about Balaramji killing Dhenukasur. So let's begin. So today's class is going to be divided into two parts. One is we are going to describe about the Gopashtami, and we are also going to describe about how Balaramji killed Dhenukasur. So what is this Gopashtami? So in the 8th lunar day of the bright fortnight of the month of Kartik. So now we all know the Kartik month is very, very auspicious, and in the Kartik month you have two, one is Purnima and one is Amavasya, so you have two 8th lunar day, two Ashtamis. 8th lunar day is called Ashtami. So there are two Ashtamis in Kartik Masa, and we know that one is a bright and one is a dark. So the first one is the dark Ashtami, which is called as the Bahul Ashtami, and the second Ashtami is the Gopashtami, which comes in the bright fortnight. That means towards the Purnima. So what happened on that day? So from that day, Lord Vasudev, or Nandanandan Krishna as we call him, he served as a cowherd. Not a cowherd boy, but now he's become a cowherd, where previously he had tended to the little calves, so baby calves. So he was only in the outskirts of the village, so he was not going deep into the forest. And now he has been promoted to a Gopalak. So he's become a Gopalak. So now he is going to take the bigger cows to the forest. This is mentioned in the Kartik Mahatmya section of Padma Puran. Tatascha pauganda vayashitau praje babhuvatustau pashupala sammatau dascharayanto sakibhi samam padair vrindavanam punyativa chakratuhu. And Lord Rama and Lord Krishna, they attained the age of Pauganda. What is that? 6 years to 10 years is the age of Pauganda. 1 to 5 is Kaumara. And while living in Vrindavan, the cowherd men, they allowed them to take up to the task of tending the cows. Now, they are going to allow means they're going to give some matau, they're going to give them the approval. Yes, now you boys are big enough to take care of the cows. The boys, when they were in Kaumara age, they were very much inclined, they were very much excited. They wanted to go to the forest to herd the cows. But because of the love of Nanda Maharaj and the others, so they were holding them back. Wait, you have to grow up a little bit more. So engaging thus in the company of their friends, the two boys rendered the land of Vrindavan most auspicious by imprinting upon it the marks of their lotus feet. So this is the verse. So now they're doing two things. One thing is they're going and taking care of the bigger cows, and they're going inside the forest of Vrindavan. And the third thing is that they are marking the feet marking the entire earth, that is the land of Vrindavan, with their beautiful footprints. So we will see this in detail, significance of Gopashtami in the first 19 shlokas, and then how the next Balaram kills Dhenukasur. So it has, as you see how Gopashtami comes about, it had been a long-standing desire of both Krishna and Balaram to herd cows in the pasture of Vrindavan. They were seeing the bigger Gopas, the Nanda Maharaj himself, they were all going to herd the cows in Vrindavan. And these boys, little boys, including Krishna and Balaram, they were at a long-standing desire, not very long, they were only Kaumaras, but they had a desire to go and herd the cows. However, because they were too young, then Nanda Maharaj, he had so much affection for them, so he did not approve. that until they reached Pauganda, the age of 6. Now here you have to see a little bit, go a little bit back and see what had happened. Earlier, Shukadeva Goswami told Parikshit Maharaj that you see, they had suddenly been given this discharge of the cows, and they had turned 6. And Parikshit Maharaj says, but just now you said they were Kaumaras. Just now you are saying they are Pauganda. How did this happen? Shukadeva Goswami was saying that they told the story of Aghasura 1 year later. So he was saying, why did they wait for 1 year to tell the story? And then the whole Brahma Vimohini Leela took place, the whole chapter of that. So now they have grown a little bit more, although they were lying in the Maya's bed, as you call it, but they had grown a little bit more, and then their bodies had a little bit grown, and so now they were able to take care of the cows. This was noticed by Nanda Baba and all the others. So this happened when did this happen? This happened on the bright fortnight of Kartik, as we mentioned just now. Kartik, before Kartik Purnima comes towards the end of Kartik, there is one Ashtami, and on that day this happened, which then became to be known as the auspicious Gopashtami. They were promoted from cows to tend the adult cows, Pashupala, as cowherds. Some matau, they were appointed or they were approved, and they were marking the feet of the entire Vrindavan. Padaihi Vrindavanam Punyam, they were making the Vrindavan auspicious. Ativa, very auspicious, extremely auspicious. Chakratuhu, they made. Now, we should see this Leela in a little depth, where we see that one day it was going to be announced that Krishna is now going to become a Gopalak, and all his cowherd boys also are going to become Gopalaks, and they're all going to be going to the Vrindavan forest to tend the cows. So everyone was excited, and Mother Yashoda, she made beautiful shoes for Krishna. Krishna, you're going to the forest, there'll be so many thorns and there'll be so many pebbles, and so Krishna, please wear these beautiful shoes. And Krishna was so excited. Mother, so beautiful, these shoes. I just would love to wear them. Have you made the shoes for the cows also? Mother Yashoda was surprised. She said, what? Make shoes for the cows? But no, Krishna, I didn't make for the cows. There are 9 lakh cows, plus each cow has 4 feet. So that means how many? 9 times 4, that many lakhs of shoes I have to make. It is not possible, Krishna. I can't make shoes for the cows. Then Krishna said reluctantly, then Mother, I can't wear shoes too. Whatever the cows are wearing, I will wear that. So they're not wearing shoes, so I'm also not going to wear shoes. So then Mother Yashoda was sad, but then she couldn't help it. But whereas the cows heard this, when the cows heard this, they were saying, our Lord is going to go to Vrindavan forest without shoes. So that night, they all went to the forest of Vrindavan, and the cows, they pulverized the pebbles and the stones and everything over there and made them into soft sand. So now it is good for their Lord to graze them there without being disturbed by the pebbles and the thorns. So this was the beautiful pastimes of the cows being showing so much love towards Krishna and Balaram. And then the gopis also heard that Krishna and Balaram are going to go to the forest. So they also wanted to see how they were going to herd the cows. And so they also came there to see the beautiful sight of Krishna tending to the cows in the forest. In guys, and when they came there, they were holding their skirts a little higher because they had to go into the forest where there were all sorts of thorns and bushes, and so they had to hold their skirts a little higher. And this scene is depicted even today in some of the temples, where on Gopashtami day we can see the lotus feet of all the gopis, including Srimati Radharani. So it's a beautiful pastime of Gopashtami. So many things happened on this day. So we know this happened on the Ashtami of. So that is a month called Bhadra. That is Bhadrapad. And there is a month called Kartik. So we have this in the Hindu calendar. We have this Shravan, Bhadrapad, Ashwin, Kartik, like that. These are the months. So Shravan is the time when the Brahma Vimohini Leela happened, and after which came the Bhadrapad. The Bhadrapad, there are 2 Ashtamis again. Every month has 2 Ashtamis, right? So there was 2 Ashtamis again in Bhadrapad, and you all know the Bhadrapad Ashtamis are very, very famous. Anyone wants to try? Which are the 2 Ashtamis in Bhadrapad? No? Janmashtami and Radhashtami.
Radhashtami.
Yes. So Janmashtami and Radhashtami are the 2 Ashtamis in the Bhadrapad month. And then comes Ashwin and then Kartik. So in the Kartik Mass are these 2 Ashtamis, Bahulashtami and Gopashtami. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he is commenting that the boys and the cows had remained captive by Brahma for 1 year. Thus, there was a gap of 3 months from the end of 1 year of kidnapping up to Gopashtami. What is that? They were remained captive, and then exactly after 1, that is Shravan, from 1 Shravan when they were 5 years old to the next Shravan when they were 6 years old, the boys were captive in Brahma's. Then we see that after Shravan comes Bhadrapad, then comes Ashwin, then comes Kartik. So there were 3 months. There was a 3-month gap between their kidnapping up to Gopashtami. And I think Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur only, or who gives the thing that actually it happened that the Dhenukasura, he was killed after Kaliya Dahan. So anyway, let's see that later when you come to that part. So now Shukadeva Goswami is giving details about the fun. Now what is this fun? These boys had gone to the forest for the first day. So whatever fun they had on this first day is described in detail by Shukadeva Goswami. And then he's not going to describe this every day, because every day they're going to have the similar kind of fun. So today's fun was being described as the first day fun. Venum udirayan vrito gopairgrinadbhi swayasho balanvitaha pashun puraskritya pashavyam avishad vihartu kamaha kusumakaram vanam. So what was happening here? Sounding Venum Udirayan, sounding his flute, surrounded by cowherd boys. The boys who were chanting his glories and accompanied by Lord Baladev. So he is keeping the cows in before him. Who is that? Krishna. He is keeping the cows before him. He is accompanied by Balaramji and is surrounded by all the cowherd boys and is sounding his flute. And then he's entering the Vrindavan forest, which is full of flowers and rich with nourishments for animals. Pashamya means full of nourishment for the cows. That is green grass and beautiful streams of crystal clear water signifies that animals spontaneously became happy. And there was not effort involved in herding them, so that didn't have to be herded. It was easy for them to herd them. So this beauty of Krishna entering the forest is also mentioned in another shloka in the 10th canto of the 21st chapter. It's a very beautiful shloka. I can't help but recite this. Baraha pidam natavaravapu karnayo karnikaram Vibradvasa kanaka kapisham vaijayantim jamala Randran venoradhara sudhaya Purayan gopa vrinde Vrindaranyam sapadaramanam Pravishad Gita Kirti. So what is the meaning? Barha Pidam is he's wearing a peacock feather. Natavara Vapu, he's dressed like an actor, like a stage actor. There's a beautiful clothes. Karanayo Karnikaram is wearing a beautiful Karnikara flower on his ear. And then Bibradvasa Kanaka Kapisham, his resplendent clothes, that is Vasa means his dress, his dhoti. His Kanaka Kapisham is like Kanaka means gold and is shining like gold. Vaijayantim Chamalam, he's wearing this Vaijayanti Mala full of beautiful flowers of different colors. Randran Venor, in the holes of the flute. Adhara is holding on to his beautiful lips. Sudhaya, he's pouring nectar and is pouring nectar into the Gopa's ears also. Gopa Vrindai, Vrindaranyam, in this beautiful Vrindavan forest. Swapada Ramanam, he's placing his pada means his lotus feet. Ramana means he's putting his lotus feet on the land of Vrindavan and playing around. Pravishad Gita Kirti, and he is going around singing, and all the boys are singing his glories, and he is playing the flute. And this is a beautiful scene of Krishna entering the forest of Vrindavan.
Excuse me, Mataji, may I take 1 minute?
Yes,
1 or 2 minutes. In fact, this is the verse that Sukadeva Goswami first heard. I remember his father, Vyasadeva, was trying to entice him to come back because he went in the forest, as soon as he was born, he was immediately 16-year-old youth and he went away. So his father wanted to get him back. So he sent his disciples in the forest. And then when they sing these particular verses that Mataji recited so beautifully, and Sukadeva Goswami was Atma Rama, he was attracted by the Krishna's beauty, and that's why he came back to his father and then learned the Bhagavatam, because his sole purpose was to recite the Bhagavatam eventually to Parishad Maharaj, But this was the verse that means Prabhupada says that this beauty of Krishna, in fact, attracts even the Atma Rama who was self-happiness within himself. But Krishna is that beauty that he even attracts the Atma Ramas also, So this particular verse is extremely beautiful, probably one of the most beautiful verse in Bhagavatam. And I love that verse very much. It's a very famous verse. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. So yes, this is the most beautiful verse which Shukadeva Goswami heard, and this describes the beauty. He was attracted to beauty, and he was also attracted to one more verse, and that was Aho Bakiyam Sanakala Kutam. That is another verse he was attracted to. That is beauty as combined with mercy. So beauty is also combined with mercy. So he's as beautiful and he's that much merciful also. And what does that verse say? That verse says that he was Krishna is so merciful that he even when Putana came smeared herself with poison and came to kill him, still he gave her the place of a Dhatri and the nurse in the spiritual world, just because she came in the dress of a gopi and came to feed him milk. Came there in a Vatsalya Bhava, Rupa. It was not Bhava, but it was a Vatsalya Rupa. I mean, she just came like that, and for that he gave. So merciful is my Lord. So thinking like that, that is Shukadeva Goswami, he became attracted to this and came to study Bhagavatam from his father. So here in this slide, we saw so many points. So we are also going to a little bit more talk about what the Goswami said. Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, they said that the boys were approved to graze the cows and the bulls and the older calves. And these cows and all would gather around him and would not go to the pastures without him. That's why they had to give them the approval. So, okay. Because the cows would refuse to go with the older men. They said, no, we want to go only with Krishna. So it is understood that from that time onwards, the other older cowherds men, that is like Nanda Baba and his age kind of cowherd men, stopped doing that, and Krishna and Balaram, they became the cowherdsmen. And then the earth became extremely blessed. Ativa, why is she extremely blessed? because their footprints had special marks like thunderbolt, elephant gourd, and lotus flower, and flag. And why? Because it seems that they were giving her this opportunity because she had made that effort to cry for Krishna's descent. So she went with Brahmaji. Remember in the beginning, she went with Brahmaji as in the form of a cow to cry that please Krishna descend and please protect me, please save me. So for this reason, it seems that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that they were trying to imprint their lotus feet on her and making her even very, very, very ativa, extremely fortunate. So, Baldev Vidyabhushan also says that herding the cows, okay, is accomplishes another thing, another point. What is that? Being Yajna Purusha. So by herding the cows, you become also Yajna Purusha. Why? Because all the ingredients for Yajna, that is ghee and all the butter and all these things, they come from the cow, isn't it? The cow dung, the cow patties, everything, whatever they make, the ghee, everything comes from the cow. So that also is another point. So then we go to the second also, they wanted to have so much fun. They were accompanied by Balaramji, and they were glorifying all the boys of Krishna. They were glorifying Krishna. They were always singing Krishna's glories only, glorifying him. And how they entered the forest. Now Vrindavan forest was full of flowers. It was full of flowers, and it was so beautiful. That means the flowers are different colors. So you can imagine how beautiful the flowers is. So that's why this word Madhava is also there in this shloka. Why is it there? This Madhava also means three things: husband of Lakshmi, descendants of Madhu dynasty, and also it means a spring season, which is called also Madhava. So entire forest was abundant with fruits, flowers, and so on. So Jiva Goswami is saying that he's loudly playing the flute. Krishna was loudly playing the flute. Why? Why was he loudly playing the flute? Because he wanted to enrapture the residents of Vrindavan. They were far away, right? They were going deep into the forest of Vrindavan. But whereas even the residents of Vrindavan, they could hear his flute to let them know that he had entered the forest. So he was so taking care of everyone. So he is going to the forest, but he's loudly playing the flute so that everyone in Vrindavan also can hear that he is now going to the forest. And the forest dwelling creatures, that means all the other rabbits and all the other things who were there in the forest, they became avishat, or they became captured, enraptured, possessed by him. And they became all very, very happy looking at Krishna, because Krishna had come today to the forest. So much more we have to glorify here. Now, again in this theme, we are going to the next shloka, where in that forest, it resounded with the charming sounds of the bees, animals, birds. It's enhanced by a lake whose clear water resembled the minds of the great souls, and by a breeze carrying the fragrance of 100 petal lotuses. Seeing all this, Krishna decided to enjoy the auspicious atmosphere. The primeval Lord saw that the stately trees with their beautiful reddish buds and their heavy burden of fruits and flowers are bending down to touch his feet and the tips of their branches. Thus he smiled gently and addressed his brother. So when they entered, you see, there were so many beautiful flowers, isn't it? So now we can see how the forest of Vrindavan is trying to satisfy all the senses of Krishna. So who is the enjoyer? Supreme enjoyer? Krishna. Krishna is a supreme enjoyer. And so now this supreme enjoyer has to be given the supreme things for him to enjoy, isn't it? So Vrindavan forest is doing that. What is it doing? It is giving supreme bliss to his eyes by his beautiful scenery, beautiful flowers, beautiful fruits, and all this. Krishna, when he casts a glance, is so satisfied, and he so becomes immersed in love. So then the Vrindavan forest delights his tongue. How? With the fresh, clear water of the lakes and the sweet fruits which he has to offer. Then his nose, by the beautiful fragrance of the lotuses, of the flowers, of the different various ripe fruits, all the fragrance is coming and his nose is satisfied. So his eyes are satisfied, his nose is satisfied, and his ears are satisfied by the beautiful sound of the bees, resounding, charming sounds, bees, animals, birds, they're making such nice sounds. And then the Sridhar Swami is talking about how the lake, from the lake, which grows a lot of lotus flowers, and the breeze is blowing. When the breeze is blowing, it implies that the breeze, the coolness of the breeze implies that there's a lake there. And there's a beautiful lake with cooling breezes blowing and touching his skin, which is giving him nice feeling for his skin. That is, all his senses are now covered. All the senses are being enjoyed. And Krishna is so happy, so delighted that his nose, his eyes, his ears, his skin, everything is being delighted by this beautiful Vrindavan forest. So Krishna saw that the trees with their heavy fruits and their reddish buds, they were bending down to touch his feet, his lotus feet. But then, can he glorify himself? He cannot. So he was glorifying his elder brother Balaram. So in this shloka, there is a word called Vanaspatya and Vanaspati. There are two words. Vanaspatya is a tree with fruits from whom the blossoms come and then the fruits come. That is, there is a flower, then that flower turns into a fruit. 99% most of it is like that, isn't it? First the flower comes and then the fruit is pollinated and then the fruit comes. But there is Vanaspati. Vanaspati is something like herbs, and but here also it's a tree with fruits, but it's not originating directly from the blossoms. This is given the Amarkosh dictionary, that there is a difference between Vanaspatya and Vanaspati. Vanaspati is the tree with fruits not originating from blossoms. So they're directly coming out as fruits, not coming out as flowers. So some examples were given, like mostly they are like used in kinds of medicinal fruits, that kind of things. They are like ginkgo and all that. I just Googled and saw that there are some fruit trees like that, which come directly without the flowering. So Krishna, he was smiling because some aspects of the forest was reminding him of the gopis. So he was smiling also. That was his smile, his gentle smile, because he was remembering the gopis. That says by Jiva Goswami. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that while he spoke while smiling, because he could not stop talking as a result of immense joy he was feeling. He was feeling so much joyful that he was projecting his own greatness or eminence on Balramji. And then he was addressing Balramji as Adi Purusha. He was feeling very, very happy today, first day in the forest. And look at the forest, it's coming out to welcome me. So Krishna was in a joking mood. So he knew that the trees were actually bowing down to worship him. But in the following verse, the Lord is speaking in a friendly, light-hearted mood, and he's giving all his credit to his brother Balramji, that all the creatures of Vrindavan, including trees, cows, were all great souls actually, who could personally associate with the Supreme Lord, isn't it? Because of the ecstatic sentiments of their separation, because all these few years they were separated from Krishna, the trees considered themselves in ignorance. So now this is the humbleness, humility of the trees. They are considering themselves, oh, we are in ignorance, Krishna, and you have to now deliver us. How can the trees of Vrindavan be in ignorance? They are not. They are highly elevated devotees. Even Brahmaji wanted to become a tree or a creeper or a bush in Vrindavan. So they cannot be ordinary trees. But with their humility, they are thinking like that. They're coming into this bhava. that they are full of ignorance, and thus they are trying to purify themselves by bowing down at the lotus feet of Krishna Balaram. So Lord Krishna is understanding their mentality, and simultaneously is glancing at them with affection and praising their devotional service before his older brother Balramji. This is from Srila Prabhupada's purports. So with a sidelong glance, Krishna, what is he saying? He said to Balram, Krishna said that these trees are offering worship at your lotus feet. They are offering you flowers and their fruits, and just they want to remove their ignorance due to their birth as trees. Sridhar Swami is saying that the trees are praising Balaram, that you have come to terminate the darkness of ignorance, and that were born, these trees were born with, oh Balramji, please deliver these trees, because they are coming and offering you their fruits. Then Sanatana Goswami says that although they were immobile, they are bowing down to your lotus feet. See, they cannot move, right? But they can bow down to your feet by the heaviness of their fruits. And they're giving all kinds of paraphernalia of worship, that is fruits and flowers and leaves and all sorts of things. So those who have that kind of bhava, actually they don't have ignorance, right? Because they have taken birth as a tree in Vrindavan. It is not that they want to terminate the darkness of ignorance, but this is their humility. So Krishna is telling his brother that they are unable to associate with him, that is with Balaramji. Now he's talking for him as well as Balaramji. He's telling Balaramji that they cannot come and move around with us like all the other moving animals. So they are standing at one place. They have taken birth as trees. So please, you have to bless them. So this is what. So these trees, they are offering you fruits, flowers, and they want to eradicate their birth as trees, that ignorance which has caused them like that. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that a birth in Vrindavan, as a tree in Vrindavan also, is not the result of an offense, because it is requested even by Brahmaji and others. So only that, but Baldev Vidyabhushan says that they have that kind of bhava. So Balramji was not disturbed by the bees who were constantly following him. Anupatham. Anupatham means to follow constantly at the same path as him. But Balramji was not disturbed. Even the sages concealed in the form of bees were worshipping the Lord. That is, Sridhar Swami is saying that even if you are disguised as a human being, Sridhar Swami is telling that Krishna is saying to Balaramji, even if you are disguised as a human being, these great sages are disguised as bees to worship you. So they are constantly following you, whether you come as a human being or you come as Balaramji, they are always constantly following you. And so are the grasses and the plants who are touching your feet. So Krishna is pointing at the bees and following them, which are following Balaramji everywhere. And they're telling, see, these bees are glorifying you. They are like a guru that hints at the glory of bhakti. That's what Sanatana Goswami is saying. Because naturally, everyone is forever your servant. Oh, you who don't take offense. Oh, you who are utterly compassionate. Oh, look at these bees. These bees, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, these bees don't abandon you even though you are hiding somewhere in the forest, engaged in a secret pastime. So even if you're hiding somewhere and you are engaged in secret pastimes, still these bees follow you everywhere. And because these sages disguised as bees are sinless, you are kind to them and call them to enter your most private grove and relish your fragrance and tell them not to feel shy. It is so beautiful that even the bees are interacting with the Supreme Lord. So in a way, Krishna is telling about himself, although now he's talking to Balaramji. But even that means, even in his intimate pastimes, these bees can come. They can come and then they can enter the groves and the private groves, and they can relish the fragrance of Krishna and his pastimes. And then Krishna is telling them, don't feel shy. Baldev Vidyabhushan says, these bees are sages like Shukadev Goswami and others whose habit is to ponder over your mysteries. So these are the beautiful explanations of the bees given by the acharyas, various acharyas. These grasses and bushes are fortunate, but not those that abide in Swarga or not those in Dandaka and so forth. So there are other forests, in various forests are there, even in the Swarga Loka. So Srila Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami, they say that these grasses and bushes are so fortunate. Krishna is walking here barefoot and is imprinting all his beautiful lotus feet on top of the earth and is touching the grasses and the bushes here. The reason that is Tvat Pada Sparshaha. This earth has now become most fortunate because you have touched the grass and the bushes with your feet and the trees and the creeper with your fingernails. So, because you have graced the rivers and the mountains and the birds and the animals with your merciful glances, but above all, you have embraced the young cowherd women between your two arms, a favor hankered after by the goddess of fortune herself. So, in this, we have missed out the peacocks, but here we, in the 7th verse, there is to greet you, the peacocks are dancing jubilantly. Did I miss a? Okay. So there's in the 7th shloka, there's a mention of the peacocks who are dancing jubilantly, and there are the does, the deer and the does, they're glancing like the gopis, and the kakus are singing so delightfully, and the inhabitants of forests are so very loving. So Sridhar Swami is saying that the nature of the righteous is that they offer their everything to the Supreme Lord, who have arrived to their homes. Now the lords have come to their homes, isn't it? To their home. That is a Vrindavan forest. So these Vrindavan forest animals and birds and all, they are offering everything to these lords. To make Balramji feel happy, Krishna is saying that the doe, that is the female deer, they are glancing at you with loving glances like the gopis. So actually Krishna is feeling the same thing. That is what is reminding him of the gopis, the eyes of the does which are loving with loving glances. This implies that the gopis of Balaramji are different from the Krishna's gopis, and there is a manifestation of a little portion of Kaishora is there in this Pauganda age. That means they are only 6 years old, but a little bit of Kaishora has now peeped in, and they are also mentioning the gopis. So then we come to this shloka, the 8th shloka, where after praising his elder brother, Krishna had the fun on the banks of Manasi Ganga. That is the 9th shloka, I think. So the 8th shloka is that the earth has become very fortunate, right? Because all the grasses and the plants and all are touched by the feet and by the fingernails. And Bhudevi, who was very delighted today, because she once upon a time she was upheld by Varahadev, and now she is held by you in the form of Shesha. That is, Krishna is telling Balaramji, see, in one avatar Varahadev held Bhudevi, now you are holding her. So she has become very fortunate, and today she has become more fortunate because you have touched her with your lotus feet. By touching the trees, creepers, by plucking the leaves, by plucking the fruits, so the nails will touch the trees and creepers. So you have made them fortunate by touching them with your fingernails. And you have made others who are at a distance. That means you cannot touch them, but you have made them fortunate by merciful glance, like the mountains, Govardhan, rivers, Yamuna, birds, and all these. You may not be able to touch them, but you are looking at them with your merciful glance. That way you are touching them. And the fortune of the gopis is who have been directly embraced by you is greater than that of Lakshmi ji, who is performing great austerities to attain this. So this is, he's saying in his own case, that is Krishna's embracing the gopis is even hankered by Lakshmi Devi. So the next one is, after praising his elder brother, Krishna now finished praising the Vrindavan forest, finished praising Balaramji. Now he is now having the fun on the banks of Manasi Ganga. The bees are singing notes, okay? The bees are singing and buzzing around. And that is in pertaining to their species. They are singing in that mood. Whereas the Lord, he can understand the language of the bees, he can understand the language of animals. So the Lord, understanding what they are singing, he is singing notes, or he is playing on his flute the notes which are very similar to those of the bees. Okay, that means they are in comparison, they are very similar. That is the sound of the bees and the sound of Krishna's flute and his songs. Krishna sang in a beautiful melody. But his companions, Krishna's companions, they are also singing. They are singing Krishna's glories. And their songs, what are their songs? Their songs are combining the songs of the bees and the songs of the Lord, or the sound of this flute. So they are combining these two and they are singing. So this is such a beautiful orchestra, this is such a beautiful melodious singing which is going on. Bees are singing, the Lord is singing, and the boys are also singing, and thus the mingling of the songs is so beautiful. And in this way, this is to be understood, that it is so wonderful to hear. Sometimes Krishna would imitate the chattering of a parrot. Sometimes with a sweet voice, he would call out like a cuckoo. And sometimes the cooing of the swans. Sometimes he vigorously imitated the dancing of a peacock, making his cowherd boyfriends laugh. And sometimes with a voice as deep as the rumbling of the clouds, he would call out with great affection the names of his animals, the cows, the bulls, older calves, and so on, and all these four-legged animals. And then who had wandered a little further away from the herd, so he would just, and then he called their names, and thus enchanting the cows and the cowherd boys. They were so enchanted by this, and as a double meaning, being devoid of intelligence is stated since they went far away from Krishna's side. Okay, this means that who will want to go away from Krishna? Is it good? It's not good. It's not good to go away from Krishna. It's not good to stay away from Krishna or become away from Krishna. So the rumbling of the clouds is indirectly indicated here, that Krishna in that kind of a sound is calling them back. And the cows and all, they are all coming back. His voice was like a rumbling of the cloud, and affectionately he would call the names of animals who had wandered away from the herd. So these unintelligent animals, they will stray away from his side, like unintelligent people like us. We go away from Krishna and we get engaged in some other mundane activities like that. Then Krishna lovingly calls them back. So they have been called back by their master. So like that, all these Krishna and even the devotees of Krishna, they're calling us back. Jeev jago, Gora Chanda bole. Koto nidra jao Maya, Pishajira kole. Why are you sleeping in the lap of the witch called Maya? Come back, awaken, get up, and come back to Krishna. So all the great devotees also are helping Krishna to call those who are strayed away from Krishna to come back in his fold. So his voice was very deep, like a rumbling of a cloud. And that also indicates the nature of a Mahapurusha, as said by Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami. So that is this. Then he would sometimes cry out in imitation of birds, like chakoras, kraunchas, chakravakas, bharadvajas, and the peacocks. And sometimes he would run away with the smaller animals in mock of fear of lions and tigers. That means one of the boys will make a sound like a tiger, like a lion or a tiger, and Krishna, he will run away with the smaller animals like rabbits and all, the deers and all. They will be very scared of this sound. They would make a sound exactly like the lion and tiger, and he would sometimes run away. Krishna would run away with the smaller animals in a mock fear. He knew that it was his friends, but he was showing that mock fear with the smaller animals and would run away. So the word bhitavat, as if afraid, indicates that Krishna played just like an ordinary boy and ran away with the smaller forest creatures in mock fear of the lions and tigers. Actually, in Vrindavan, the abode of the Lord, the lions and tigers are not violent, and thus there is no reason to fear them. This is from Srila Prabhupada's purport, the 13th chapter, 13th verse. What is a chakura bird? A chakura bird only drinks moonlight. So that is it. He only looks at the moonlight all the time. He just wants the moonlight, subsists on that. And a krauncha, he eats one chinchota plant. And Krishna was imitating them, all being endowed with all his potencies. So he was imitating this chakura bird, this krauncha bird. And then he was imitating how being fearful of the lions and tigers, he was running away. So he was enjoying this beautiful pastimes in the forest. Then when Balaramji became fatigued from playing, then he would lie down with his head upon one of the cowherd boys' lap. And Krishna then would help him relax. He would personally massage his feet and offer other services like fanning and all that. And sometimes as the cowherd boys were dancing and singing and they were moving about and they were fighting with each other, Krishna and Balaram, they were standing nearby hand in hand. And they would glorify their friends' activities. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And together they would enjoy and they would laugh. So Krishna massaging feet of Balaram, very nice. And this very beautiful picture is also there. Where Krishna is massaging the feet of Balaramji, is lying down. And because of the word Adi Purusha, if once said Adi, so there was also here Adi means etc., etc., and etc. Not that Adi as in the beginning, the first one. Adi Purusha, not that one. Here Adi means and etc., etc. That means not only massaging, but also fanning and doing other kinds of services. So why was this? Because they were wrestling. When you wrestle, you become very tired and you sweat and you feel hot. And so therefore this fanning also was there. So now they would then, sometimes after resting, then there will be some more fighting with each other, and all this kind of frolicking was going on. And both the lords would now then praise the cowherd boys. Wow, you did well, fantastic, very wonderful, wonderful, very good. And they would laugh. And sometimes they would praise their friends who were very good at singing and dancing and jumping about. And then they were also sometimes mocking them. Oh, you are just like a Gandharva. Oh, you are just like dancing like a Vidyadhara. Oh, you're like this. They would tell and mock them, and they would also have nice jokes and laugh. And still this continues. That is Krishna's forest pastimes. Sometimes Krishna would get tired and weary from fighting, and then he would lay down at the base of a tree and he would rest upon the bed made of soft twigs and buds. And then he also used to lie down on the lap of a cowherd friend as his pillow, his lap as his pillow. So some of the cowherd boys who were all great souls would then massage his lotus feet, and the others who were qualified of being free from all sinful activities, they would expertly fan the Lord. Pada sammahanam. Pada means lotus feet, sammahanam means massaging. So they were massaging the lotus feet, indicating that the massaging of the feet indicates that the cowherd boys also fanned the Lord very carefully, expertly, and creating gentle, cool breezes. So sometimes when the breeze comes, in the forest, it's not that it is like a fan which constantly blows, isn't it? Sometimes the breeze will blow, and after some time the breeze will not blow, and then after some time the breeze will blow again. So therefore they needed fanning also. So in between, when there was no breeze, then the boys would expertly fan the Lord with soothing wind. So then the other boys would sing enchanting songs, and on the appropriate occasion, and their hearts would melt out of love for the Lord. So they were so lovingly singing these songs with heartfelt love. So in this way, the Supreme Lord, whose soft lotus feet are personally attended by Lakshmi Devi, he was concealing his transcendental opulences by his Yogamaya, And he was acting like a son of a cowherd boy, a cowherd man. So he was like son of a cowherd, that is Nanda Baba. Yet, even while he was enjoying like a village boy in the company of the other village resident, he often exhibited feats only God could perform, right? Something godly he would do. Therefore, Shukadeva Goswami is concluding by glorifying the abundant good fortune of the Gopas. The Gopas had so much good fortune. They made bed for Krishna, and for their pleasure, he lied down on the bed. And see, every Gopa was making a bed at a different place in Vrindavan. So I also want to make a bed for Krishna. I also want to make a bed for Krishna. And when Krishna saw all his Gopa friends are making so many beds, then what did he do? He lied down on all of the beds. He expanded and lied down on all of the beds because he wanted to please all of them, taking many, many forms. This is said by Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami and Baldev Vidyabhushan. They say that the drop of sweat on his cheeks due to fatigue from mock fighting, that was shining like anything. And here he lied down, taking different forms, many, many forms, and lying down on all the beds. So even his Sakha Sridama was massaging him. He also took many, many, manifold forms to serve Krishna, because he saw Krishna taking so many forms. See, even his Sakhas are so powerful. He also took so many forms as Krishna took, and he was serving Krishna in all the different beds. Who was tired because of his friends were longing to serve him. Even one body is not enough. For us, 24 hours is too much to serve Krishna, because we are serving Maya and we are serving everything else except Krishna. And when we want to serve Krishna, even 2 hours which we get to chant, we are not concentrating and we are feeling that it is too much. Oh, when can I finish my rounds and when can I start doing my other work? Isn't it? Here, just the opposite. Even one body is not enough to serve the Lord. So he's multiplying himself manifold so that he can serve Krishna in many, 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 many times more at the same time. So this is so beautiful. So then, so some were massaging his feet, and while the others were fanning him, and the fans were made of what? Palm leaf, shoots, and it's called chauris. The chauris are actually, I think, made out of the cow's like tail, yak tail, and those kind of tail. Here the cows or the bulls, which have passed on, and they use their other thing, their other parts, like the chauris are made from the this hair of their tails, like chamaras. So Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami say more than many of the cowherd boys are massaging. Can 10 people massage one person? It's like, cannot, isn't it? But because Krishna was showing his Aishwarya, where he was multiplying, so many people could massage his leg, even though he was one. Due to his exceptional Aishwarya, Hatapap Manaha, by whom all sins are destroyed, indicates that only Krishna can remove our sins and sorrows resulting from non-existence of our good fortune to perform such personal service to Krishna. That means only Krishna can give you the chance to massage his feet, and to, what is the result of that? Remove all our sins and sorrows, isn't it? Only he can do that. And he was doing it here in Vrindavan forest. They were fanning him properly with a mudra, very nice mudra they were showing, and their family fanning him. And they were sweetly waving, and so ever so gently, not anyhow fanning him, but very sweetly, gently, and even with a mudra. This way, they were beautifully serving him. Then to delight, some of them sang very softly, gently, and they were also singing the appropriate songs. So like how we also try to sing appropriate songs in our Kirtan session for that particular class. So now this class is going to happen. So now we are going to sing an appropriate song. So like that, we have to also feel that we are also serving the Lord And we also should serve with so much of bhava and devotion, even though it may be a small act of offering, but still it should come from the heart. So because the songs, they have amazing intonations, rhythms, and they were imbued with the qualities of the gopis, the songs were delighting him so much. And he was delighted, and he was like immersed in these songs and this beautiful atmosphere, like he was deeply, like he was immersed in like millions of oceans like that. That's what Sanatana Goswami is saying. Even an emperor, like, see, now is Sanatana Goswami is comparing how even an emperor like Parikshit Maharaj was an emperor, so how much Parikshit Maharaj can enjoy, isn't it? He has everything to his beck and call. But even an emperor like Parikshit Maharaj cannot have so much fun. This was explained by Sanatana Goswami. Because anything we do also, we know that we pay the people to do it. Like we have servants in the house. In the sense, Parikshit Maharaj is an emperor. He has servants to serve him, to do whatever at his beck and call. Yes. But what are they doing with bhava? Are they doing with so much of love for their master? No, they are doing it because they're getting a salary. But here, the boys were doing it with so much of love, so much of devotion, that even Parikshit Maharaj cannot have so much fun. That's what mentioned by Sanatana Goswami. Then Krishna, although he performs, sometimes he performs godly acts, right? He holds up the Govardhan mountain on his little finger. And so many things he is doing, which are all godly acts. And his lotus feet are actually served by Lakshmi ji. But now he's concealing all this himself with this magic. While he's imitating what he's imitating, he's a son of Nanda Maharaj. He's a cowherd boy. So he's taking pleasure in playing with all these cowherd boys. So although his nature is concealed, but some parts of his patterns of his godly behavior sometimes are occasionally they are seen. And the greatness of the delight of the cowherd boys, this great fun which they were having, is much more than the greatness of the delight of Mahalakshmi serving the lotus feet of that is implied in this saying. By all the acharyas, they are saying that the greatness of the delight of the fun which the cowherd boys were having by massaging the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, even Mahalakshmi, it was greater than what Mahalakshmi was enjoying in the Kshirasagara, where she's massaging Mahavishnu's feet. So he took pleasure in imitating the pastimes of the cowherds, and by becoming the son of Nanda Maharaj, and he was concealing his birth as a prince. But even though this happened, his Aishwarya was occasionally manifest when he was killing the asuras. So this is in this. So then there is Isha Cheshtitaha. So although also displaying feats unique to the Supreme Lord, Isha Cheshtitaha means his own desire. His own Aishwarya is covered by Yogamaya. Even if he does not know how to do a pastime in that way, his Aishwarya is not just covered wholly and entirely. That means Aishwarya is covered, but not completely. So sometimes somewhere you can see his Aishwarya suddenly popping up. So that is what he talks about with Isha Cheshtitaha, which signifies that he whose actions involves godly things might on occasion, like killing of demons and etc., it may come about. But don't worry, all the cowherd boys and all, they are not going to take his Aishwarya seriously. They are always singing his glory, singing, oh Krishna killed Aghasura, oh Krishna. But they never thought that Krishna was God. They always thought that Krishna was a dear friend who will do anything for them, and he can do anything, and he can kill any kind of demon, and he can solve any kind of problem. But because he was their Krishna and he loved them so much. That's all they knew. So during this play, Sridama, Subala, Stoka Krishna, and other cowherd boys. Now we are coming to the next part where Krishna is going to kill Dhenukasura. sorry, Balaram is going to kill Dhenukasura. So in this play, what is happening here? You see, there's going to be one day something is going to happen very exciting. Sridham, Subal, Stoka Krishna, and other cowherd boys describe to Rama and Krishna, Rama means Balarama and Krishna, that a wicked, irrepressible Dhenuka who had assumed the form of a ass, jackass, or a donkey, and was living in the Talavan forest near Govardhan Hill. So they told Krishna and Balaram that there is a forest called Talavan, which is like, this is just nearby here, because they were now in Govardhan area. So they were saying nearby Govardhan Hill. Actually, it is like nearby is something like 8 miles is mentioned. 8 miles is a nearby thing. For us, even like 1 mile is too much. So 8 miles is nearby. They said just nearby there is a Talavan forest. And in this forest, there is varieties of sweet fruits. Actually, it is the tala fruit, which is so sweet and fragrant. But this demon, he doesn't allow anyone to relish that. So no one dares to go there, because he's a demon who can kill even human beings, and he can kill animals, and he just eats them up. And thus, someone had to kill that demon. And then they are now requesting Krishna and Balaram, Krishna, Balaram, you are so powerful, you are so great. Can you please help us? Can you please go and kill that demon in Talavan so that we can enjoy those sweet fruits? Actually, they didn't want to enjoy the sweet fruits. They wanted Krishna and Balaram to snack on them. So they were thinking how to say, if we say, please, Krishna and Balaram, they are very wonderful fruits, for we want to offer you those fruits, they may not take them seriously. So they thought that they will do anything for us. They are so loving to us, Krishna and Balaram, they'll do anything for us. So if we say we want the fruits, then they will definitely go and do it. And so therefore, even though they wanted them to taste the fruits, they said, we want to taste the fruits. And then Lord Krishna and Balaram, they're thinking that, oh, yes, our friends want this. So first they said, oh, Rama, Rama, Mahabhahu. So you're so powerful, Rama. And there is this there's this powerful demon in Talavan. They said this powerful demon in Talavan just to make him more envious. Oh yes, who is more powerful than me? And then they also said the second part of that sentence was that this powerful demon is in the form of a donkey. And this was to make Krishna laugh, because Krishna was amused that a demon can take a form of a donkey, and donkeys are not very powerful. So then both the brothers laughed loudly. And then Krishna and Balaram, they heard the situation, and then they set off to this forest. They wanted to fulfill the desires of their companions. This is given by Srila Prabhupada. Now they are arriving at Talavan forest, and Krishna and Balaram, they entered the forest. And Balaramji is not at all afraid. He took like, in this picture you see one palm tree, but it's mentioned that the palm trees were in a row. They were in a row. And Balaramji was so strong. He took a few trees in both his hands, and he shook the trees, and all the palm fruits all fell all over the place. So make sure that the fruits don't fall on anybody's head, that they fall far away, because you can see the fruits, you can see the tala fruit there. Tala fruits are like that, you can see the palm fruits. Actually, these tala fruits grow in Southeast Asia so much. So we know they are called as sea coconut over here. And these fruits look like dark bees, bee color. So when they become very black like this, and finally they become so ripe that before that, if you take out the fruits and you eat them, you can eat the sweet pulp in the fruits, are very fragrant and delicious. But if they grow more and more and then become more and more ripe, then all the pulp in that tala fruit becomes like very jaggery like that. And the pulpy sweetness is like a how to say, it's like a lot of strings like that, and then there's a lot of juice in that, if there's a lot of pulp and sweet pulp. So this is what they take out and make palm jaggery. So this is from the fruit, palm fruit. So this is very sweet to taste, but it's like full of the fiber. So the fiber is a lot, and then there's a lot of pulp also inside, mixed inside that the sweet pulp of that fruit. So this tala fruit is two varieties. You can eat the inside it tastes like coconut filled with water, very soft, and at that time the pulp is not ripe enough and it is not tasty. But if you leave it on the tree and the pulp becomes tasty, then the whole fruit becomes so full of tasteful, sweet pulp, which they then boil down and make the palm sugar or palm jaggery. Tale good also they say in Bengali. So this is the tal fruit. So the forest was full of these kind of tal fruits. But when Krishna and Balaram arrived there and they shook the trees, and Balaramji shook the trees with his powerful arms, all the tal fruits fell to the ground. And the boys were delighted and they were going to take it. But when the sound of this tal fruit, the Dhenukasura heard this, he came running. He was so full of envy, and he was so full of like my territory kind of a thing. Like nobody should enter in this territory of mine. So he was so possessive. So when he heard this tal trees fall, tal fruits fall, he ran swiftly to attack. As soon as he saw Balaramji felt so angry. How dare you? And with his hind legs, he kicked Balaramji on his chest. But the second time when he came to kick Balaramji grabbed his hind legs. Both his hind legs he grabbed with one hand of the donkey, and he whirled him around and threw him on the top of a tree. Now, Srila Prabhupada says that even just while whirling him around, in that centrifugal force, the demon left his body. He died. And by slaying him, he put him on top of the tree, and all the Dhenukasura's friends, they also came. They also were very angry. So Dhenukasura was living in this forest with a family. And all these donkeys were different colored, multicolored donkeys. And they all had taken the form of donkeys, and they were living there with Dhenukasur, and they were enjoying these tal fruits. And then when they saw that their master was killed, they all came to kill Krishna and Balaram. And now it was a turn for both Krishna and Balaram to take these donkeys, whirl them around and throw them into the palm trees. And each palm tree had one donkey on top, and the palm trees were falling. And when one tree was falling, it was like a domino effect, and all the trees were falling one after the other, and the donkeys were on top of these trees, and it was such a sight. And all of the Dhenukasura's friends, they came and they rushed to attack, but they all were killed, and the disturbance was finally finished. So this ends the presentation. But here I would like to mention a couple of things where you see after this situation, what happened when they threw the donkeys on the palm trees and they were all killed. So the Devatas, they also were extremely disturbed by this Dhenukasura and his family of donkeys who were terrorizing the Devatas. Can you imagine how powerful they were? They were not just ordinary donkeys. They were really, really powerful donkeys. They were terrorizing the Devatas even. And the Devatas were so happy to be rid of these donkeys. So they were also throwing flowers. Vidyadharas and Gandharvas were happy. They were singing and dancing. So this whole scenario was going on. And then they saw that the cowherd boys, when they saw these donkeys dying, these donkeys were also throwing out blood from all their bodies, and they were mixing up with these tal fruits. So the cowherd boys resisted after that from eating the tal fruit. They were thinking that we won't eat the tal fruits on this area because they were all contaminated by the blood of the donkeys. But it's mentioned that the other human beings like the Pulindas and the others, the ordinary human beings which are there, they didn't mind, and they went on to eat the tal fruits. So they enjoyed. So now the Talavan was open to everyone. Anybody could come and enjoy the fruits. And this is how Balramji is so very swift in killing. He doesn't take time. Like we will see in the next episode where Krishna is going to kill Kalia and is going to be so dramatic the way Krishna kills Kalia. But Balramji is not like that. He is very fast in killing his opponents. Just one strike, one slap, or one whirl him around and throw him. That's it. Balramji is very expert and very fast and doesn't do any drama before killing his opponents. So this is, I want to end here. I hope I have not overtaken the time. Thank you all very much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji has always taken us in a trance. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Wonderful presentation, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. So wonderful class. So enjoying each slide. So nice slides also. Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, this fruit is recently available. ताल मतलब तार गोला बोलते हैं वही है ये फ्रूट?
हाँ, तार गोला बोलते हैं वही
है ना? हाँ हाँ हाँ, वो नारियल जैसा दिखता है अंदर से, ऊपर से छोटा नारियल जैसा, है ना?
हाँ, वो काला काला होता है ना?
हाँ 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 हाँ. ओके माताजी.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, always very nicely explained.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji. All glories to devotees and blessings.
हाँ, हमें माताजी ये सीखना मिलता है कि हमें भगवान की कितनी अच्छी से सेवा करनी चाहिए. जैसे गोप सब करते हैं, कितने ईगरनेस से, कितनी प्रेम से, कितना अच्छे से, वो हमें बहुत ही अच्छे से सीखना चाहिए. ये भी कि हम हो सके उतना भगवान की अच्छे से सेवा कर पाए.
हाँ, एक्चुअली हाँ, बहुत अच्छे से करना चाहिए.
भगवान प्रकृति को कितना प्रेम करते हैं. जैसे हम लोग को कितना हम प्रकृति को इतना हम डिस्ट्रॉय कर रहे हैं, जितनी भगवान ने इतनी अच्छी से सृष्टि बनाई है और इतना अच्छे से फॉरेस्ट, फ्लावर्स, फ्रूट सब, अगर हम ह्यूमन बीइंग्स कितने वो है कि सब डिस्ट्रॉय कर रहे हैं डे बाय डे. दिस इज वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट थिंग. थैंक यू माताजी.
Now Krishna.
No, what I was really impressed by this, Krishna and Balaram, this even trees, bees, they were also affected and they wanted to serve them. That is amazing. Even those kind of creatures at such low kind of a consciousness, if they are affected with that, just imagine. Actually, those insects that Vrindavan, bees and all these, they are not ordinary souls actually. They are very, very elevated souls, and they are in that particular form to really enjoy, to give enjoyment, pleasure to the Supreme Being. That is really amazing actually. Krishna can really attract such everybody. Look at the cows. It's just incredible how much they loved the Lord, बहुत कुछ हम लोग इतनी, being a human being, such advanced consciousness and everything, still we don't have that kind of love that even the animals have that. And the second thing was really, I was really impressed. It's not the beauty of the forest, but because of Krishna being there, the beauty is because of him. And that's what they say, even the ornaments that Krishna wears, they don't beautify Krishna, but Krishna beautifies them. So Krishna, the very beauty is actually the beauty. Everything comes, what we call beautiful, that comes from him, That is really something, Mataji was very well done. Actually, you always really bring the life to what I write. You bring alive those words, Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Mercy Prabhu.
और माताजी सबसे अच्छा वो लगा कि जो appropriate बात बोले ना, appropriate singing, appropriate, that is really amazing. क्योंकि हम हमेशा ट्राई करते हैं कि हम ये एपिसोड है तो हम ये वो गाना करें, तो वो थोड़ा थोड़ा भगवान की कृपा से हमारा थोड़ा सा आया है ऐसा कि हम कर पाते हैं थोड़ा. It is
You
so
are doing
nice.
great. Lakshmataji, you sing, and that is just amazing, the bhava automatically
प्रभु जी
comes
अगर वो
the way you
भाव में
sing.
अच्छा आता है कि हमें ये है तो हम ये गाना करें, ये है तो हम ये
हाँ।
सीखे, तो वो हम सीखने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं प्रभु जी धीरे धीरे. थैंक यू माता जी.
When Lakshmataji, when I was preparing, I've been actually already started preparing all these subsequent lessons, which are still, months away, and I was thinking about you actually. All this Panchadhyay, I started reading about the thing, and immediately came to my mind about you actually.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी. सो सरप्राइजिंग.
Yeah,
प्रभु
it's
जी
a
मुझे
fact.
तो ये कालिया दमन का जो है एपिसोड, उसमें तो हमें लगता है कि ये पूरा हम अच्छे से करें कि प्रेयर्स भी कर सकते हैं, तो क्योंकि इतने कालिया दमन का जो लीला है वो इतना अद्भुत लीला है.
अरे कौन सी लीला अद्भुत है, सब कुछ
यस प्रभु
एक
जी.
से एक बढ़ के आए ना. Okay, continue,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
I'm sorry, I
Mataji.
interruptions.
Dhanas Pranam, Mataji. Very wonderful delivery. Mataji, आप वो भद्र अष्टमी बोल रहे थे, तो उसमें मुझे बस एक और चीज ऐड करना है कि भद्र पूर्णिमा इज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस, राइट? तो वो भी भद्र
No, I was
पूर्णिमा
just
से
concentrating on Ashtamis, Prabhu. Yeah, Bhadra
you sir you are asking about अष्टमी, तो तभी मुझे ध्यान है कि भद्र पूर्णिमा इज व्हेन इट्स इंटरेस्टिंग, राइट? मतलब भद्र अष्टमी, sorry, Bhadra month mein there is Krishna Ashtami, Radha Ashtami, and then there is Bhadra Purnima when Bhagavatam was spoken, right?
Yes.
Well,
Ramya Mataji is asking whether consciousness of trees in Vrindavan, Pandavas also were trees. Pandavas were trees on the banks of Radha Kund, Mataji. They took forms as trees, and so like that, great devotees all became trees there in Vrindavan, Radha Kund, Govardhan. So they are not ordinary trees. Radha Vinod Prabhu, you said.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Nice presentation, Mother. So I know as Sadhu Prabhu is so nice present, you bring a life to as things are, you are reading the slides. So the Gopashtami, right? When the cows learn that Krishna will be walking barefooted, right? You also touched on that, and the cows goes and they flatten the path, flatten with their hooves, right? So much with the love. Everything is animated in Vrindavan, like like birds and trees. So we can't say them less conscious. They are conscious, but with the conscious, they adopted that form and they serve the Lord. So everybody serves the Lord. We see how Krishna also serves the Lord Balraman, right? When he's tired and sleeping, so it shows his mood, right? And that is how other Gopas also serves and everybody serves. So that is the lesson for us also, the similar lesson that how we should take a lesson from this. When the bird can serve him, the trees can serve, we are the life, right? We are body and soul. How we should do. So nice. Nicely presented. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nice points.
So this beautiful description of the trees and everything in Vrindavan, Mataji, ये सब सुन के एक ही ख्याल आता है कि हमारा भी कभी ऐसे स्कोप हो सकता है क्या?
क्या प्रभु हमारा क्या? I didn't understand.
No, like will we ever get opportunity to be like what Brahma desired, to be that creeper, to be that tree? Like that's how after listening so wonderfully you describe, it's just that desire comes. Okay, do we have any opportunity
So
to
we
have
only
that,
have
to be
the
there?
we have the opportunity now to desire, Prabhu, because
Yes.
Krishna fulfills our desires. So let us desire, instead of desiring for so many material things, let us constantly desire for being in association with Krishna.
in Krishna. Yes.
and his devotees. So that desires will surely come fruitful. If not this lifetime, another lifetime, but definitely it will come fruitful because Krishna fulfills all the desires. So let us keep on desiring that much we can do. If we can't do
Yes.
anything else, we can do desire. We can desire.
Yes.
We can desire to become Krishna conscious. We can desire to become Krishna's servants or Krishna's associates. So let's keep that desire going.
Whatever the talents, each of us have some unique talents, So whatever the things that you can do best, through that, Prabhupada said we need to serve, Let's see, इतनी मन में तीव्र इच्छा होती है, मैं भी ऐसे गा सकूं जैसे रक्षा माता गाती है, मगर ये मुझसे that is it's not possible for me, वो मेरे लिए शक्य नहीं है ना. So whatever you know best, you try to utilize that for Krishna. So when I prepare these PowerPoints, you have no idea how much tremendous pleasure I feel. रात निकल जाती है पूरी इसमें, अभी देखो last couple things I did it in one night each, This Mataji, I just sent you today this lesson 51, 50, those lessons. That was done in a whole night like that, It's just amazing. पता नहीं वो power कहाँ से आता है, and tremendous pleasure. Anything and everything you do that for Krishna, automatically pleasure comes in it, and you enjoy it. So whatever things you do best, you do it through that route, That is the way Krishna has given us that, None of us are expert in every category. Very rare souls like Prabhupada. Prabhupada used to write all this thing, but remember he was very good in cooking. He used to teach even women how to wear a sari. I read about that in his Lilamrita, Everything, he was an all-rounder. So there are very few individuals who are like that, very, very few individuals. But in our case, we are good in one or two aspects of it. You try to serve through that, Everybody's silent.
Yes, Prabhuji, you are very true. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So we conclude here, and Sharad Prabhuji, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna. Wonderful session.
Thank you, Mataji. Before I start, I have got a question for everybody. Now, in this Leela, Dhenukasura was killed by Balrama, and why not Krishna? Anybody has got any answer to that?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Actually-
Dhenukasur is belong to the family of Prahlad Maharaj.
Okay.
And Krishna ji have given the boon that I will did not kill the Asura from your family.
Yes, that is the reason. I'll tell who was Dhenukasura in his previous life and how he became a demon. That I will tell you. Dhenukasura in his previous life, he was known as Sahasika, and he was a son of Bali Maharaj, a very powerful son of King Bali Maharaj. One day what happened, he enjoyed pastimes with 10,000 women in Gandhavardhana mountain. And the sounds in that forest, there were so many musical instruments being played, and it broke the trance of Durvasa Muni, who was nearby, and he was meditating on the Supreme Lord. Then when this thing happened, then the Durvasa Muni, he walked up to that area holding a stick, and he addressed the son of Bali Maharaj, that is Sahasika. He said, you'll become a demon for 4,000 years in your next life in the transcendental circle of Mathura. in the sacred forest of Talavana because of your offense. Then when Sahasika, he realized his mistake of disturbing Durvasa Muni, he apologized. Then Durvasa Muni told him that you will attain liberation by Lord Balram in Balrama's hands. And as Mataji said, because Lord Krishna had given Prahlada Maharaj the benediction that your descendants will not be killed by me. This is why Krishna arranged for Dhenukasura to be killed by Balrama and not by himself. Then certain things about Gopashtami we heard in very, very great detail and so nicely Mataji described. This is also given in the various scriptures in different ways. I'll tell you some of them. What happened? We are talking of Gopashtami days. On this Saptami day, one day before, in the Kartika month, when Krishna was feeding the calves, his coward boys, his friends, they said that Krishna, your father, Nanda Maharaj, he does not trust you enough. And so you are still grazing the calves instead of big cows. And on top of that, you have been given a boundary not to cross. The boys, they were not allowed to cross certain limits of the village. Now, this they said you don't have the ability, that's why they are not letting you take care of the big cows. And on this, Krishna had a thought, and while all of this was going on in the jungle, the scene at the house was different, where Yashoda Maya was telling Nanda Baba, see that Krishna is growing up, and now we can give him the responsibility of big cows. So that day, Krishna arrives home, and he was totally in rage, and he was in great anger. And that day there was no storytelling, no bathing, no changing of clothes, no coronation, nor did he eat any butter, which he used to do every day. And Yashoda Mata was very much worried. Then she was ready to give the good news to Krishna, but Krishna was in no mood to listen to her. Usually, what happens, the Lord, that is Krishna, he wakes up, plays his flute, and on hearing the sound of the flute, the coward boys, they come, and the Krishna and Balrama, they carry out their daily chores. But that day, Lord Krishna did not wake up in the first place, and so every coward boy, they also remained in their homes. And as they used to go to Krishna's house, they did not go. And that day, actually, what happened, Krishna did not go for herding the cows, the calves. Now, because Krishna did not go, his friends did not go. And now, the cows, they also refused, because the calves, they refused to go. And because the cows and the calves, they refused, everybody refused to go. Now there was a stalemate in Braja, and in Braja, as you know, Nanda Maharaj had only 9 lakh cows, and if you total up everybody, it used to be more than 1 crore cows in Braja only, and there was a stalemate. They would not go for grazing that day. Then what happens? Nanda Baba, he tells Yashoda, go and whisper in his ears that from today onwards he will be responsible for big cows. And when Yashoda Mata does that is, she wakes up in a hurry, Krishna, and tells him to get ready. The Krishna was very, very happy, and everyone was happy to go along with Krishna. And every cow was standing in a line waiting for him to come, and various breeds of cows were waiting for their Lord, that is Krishna. And after looking at the cows and the people who came to his house, he regrets not waking up earlier. Then Yashoda Mata tells him that the path to the jungle is very, very stony, and it is very much sunny in the morning time, even in the morning time. And that's why you should wear the shoes, and you should have an umbrella for both of you, Krishna and Balrama. And this story has been told by Mataji, how Krishna refused. He said, if you give shoes to all the cows, then I will wear, otherwise I will not wear, and I will not take any umbrella also, because the cows, they are not carrying any umbrella. And so Krishna started walking barefoot. And the cows who were there, they witnessed the whole situation, and they also decided to go along with Krishna and show affection towards him. What they did, this also Mataji brought out very nicely. They went in front and they crushed all the stones on the way, and they turned into powder. And remembering Krishna, there were always tears of love in their eyes, and milk dripped from their udders and fell on the earth, and due to which the earth became soft and cold, and it was very, very soothing for Krishna to walk on that field. Now, what is actually the significance of Gopashtami? As it has been told, it is on the 8th day of the bright half of the Kartika month, and the Krishna, what the coward men in Braja used to do, and even now what is done today, is the cows they are worshipped. Now, what used to happen in Braja, the cows, they also bathe, and they are adorned with colorful clothes and jewels, and they apply turmeric and place the sindura on the forehead. They also put bills on their bodies, and Gopashtami provides cattle and special feed recipes and fresh grass for all the cows, bulls, and everybody. And they circumambulate around the cows in the most informative ritual in this Gopashtami. And aside from this, we should know that the cows are very much auspicious animals in the Sanatan Dharma tradition, and the cow is considered as a good sign and the mother of the earth, and it is the source of many things that give us life. And we get all the elements from the cow, and cows are considered to be the symbol of love, care, compassion, purity, and motherhood. And all the demigods, they stay on the body of the cows. This is what is the greatness of the cow. And this is how the Gopashtami is celebrated in Braja and in other places where people keep the cows. That's all. Thank you very much. Then next weekend, day 2, as Charu Prabhuji has already told, there will be a drama on Kalia. That is the second portion of that lesson 51 will be covered in the drama only, and for which I have requested Samta Mataji to be Kalia, Radha Vinod Prabhuji to be the prosecutor. Radha Vinod Prabhuji, is it all right?
Yeah, Prabhuji, but I don't know what is there in that.
And I'll give you the script.
Okay.
I'll give
Okay.
script and we'll proceed in that sequence. And
Okay.
in the meantime, Charu Prabhuji has given some questions also. Please solve them. Then next is Lalit Priya Mataji. Are you listening? Lalit Priya Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You will be the defense counsel.
In what, Prabhuji?
In the
Defense.
drama next week, day 2.
Day 2, we are having a drama. Oh,
Yes.
I missed that first part. What you were saying, Prabhuji.
Okay. And now we are having a drama. In that, Santa Mataji will be the Kaliya. Raksha Mataji will be Kaliya's wife, one of the wives. Then Radha Vinod Prabhuji will be the prosecutor, and he will be the defense counsel. In what sequence we will go and what will be the script, I will send you in time. But in the meantime, Charu Prabhuji has asked some questions. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yeah, I
Prabhuji.
think see, most of they don't know about it because I did not discuss. So far I discussed only within our team only, you know.
Yes.
So pardon me, Lalita Priya Mataji, because first I wanted to get words of approval from my team, you know. But this Kaliya Daman story, it just a thought occurred to me that why don't we do it in a small skit, you know, so we can
Sure,
learn
Prabhuji.
at the same time we can have a little fun also, you know. So that
Yes,
is what
Prabhuji.
I gave the assignment. Sharad Prabhuji is going to, let you know what is all this thing about. By the way, is Samantha Mataji is here now?
Samantha Mataji was here now. She is locked off.
Remember one of the two things that I asked you to identify?
Yes.
In that she correctly identified the first one, which is about the free will.
Yes.
Everything is given to us in the scriptures and all these things, because the defense was based that my karmas, everything is controlled by you, by your modes, you know. So how I'm not at fault at all, right? He said that. But the point is that everything is there, but there's a free will is given. Yes, karma is that Krishna controls all these things on everything. Nonetheless, we have been given a freedom, and Krishna does not interfere there. You know, that is the first of the answer. Congratulations, Samantha Mataji. She got it actually. You know. Second thing is Krishna himself is not responsible for that. So that really deflates the entire defense itself. If you read my PowerPoints, by the way, I did send the PowerPoints for chapter 51, lesson 51, chapter 17, I think 16, 6 towards the end and the beginning of 17, you know. So you will know everything about it. Study my PowerPoint and then you will get the feeling about it, you know. In fact, I highlighted that particular slide, which we want to do the skit, you know, on that. So Prabhuji, please share that two slides, you know. By the way, of course, everybody must have gotten by this time. So there is no question about that. Because today only I sent those PowerPoints to everyone. So please go through that and let's see how we can make it really fun in an enjoyable way. And then we can learn the important concepts of it, you know. I hope everybody would enjoy that, you know.
Yes, Prabhuji.
At this play some 20 years back, when I was teaching Bhakti Vaibhav to my students here in Potomac, Washington, you know, and everybody would love it, that skit that way, you know. And if you enjoy, we might do it some more often that such skits, okay? Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So in day 2, next weekend, after Archana Mataji has covered half of the lesson, this portion will be covered in the skit only, and she will not be discussing this. And in this, I have already said who will be the participants, and some more participants are also required. I'll just decide. in that what will happen, initially the court will assemble, then the charges against Kalia will be read out, and Kalia will be answering, and the prosecutor will be questioning after each and every question, and let us see what happens at the end. All these things will take place. I am writing the script and I'll send to Charu Prabhuji for improvement.
Study it very well what the defense Kalia is presenting.
Yes.
Towards the end, actually. What Kalia is saying that why I should not be considered responsible because he said I'm in the body of a snake.
Yes.
So by nature I'm very, very angry and everything like that. So it's none of my fault. It is your Maya that's controlling me, all these things. So how the prosecutor is going to deflect that argument, and I think Radha Vinod Prabhu, the way I know him so far, he'll be the perfect person for that, for that role. And Sharad Prabhuji selected you, not I, okay? I cannot take credit for that. But his choice is perfect for you, Radha Vinod Prabhuji. You will do it very well.
You. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So study very well the defense that Kalia is putting forward and how you're going to. The first and foremost is this thing, the free will that Krishna has given us. Okay? And he does not interfere, the second point of that. That is going to deflate in totality, the defense that Kalia is putting forward. But you will understand and appreciate more if you study it very closely, the Kalia's defense, in those couple 2 or 3 slides that is given there, I think all of you must have received it. I sent it this morning only, And this
50.
I would not have seen
hours
it.
before.
They'll see it after the class. And Lalit Priya Mataji is the defense counsel. And like this, we will see what happens, what will be the verdict of the court. The court comprises of all the other members who are not taking part in this.
Like in a jury box,
Yes.
प्रभु जी एक पॉइंट पूछना था, मतलब कहना था कि अगर कोई जीव है, खराब क्वालिटीज है उसमें, और वो उसकी क्वालिटीज खराब क्वालिटीज को दूर कर देता है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली फिर वो अच्छे प्योर कॉन्शियसनेस में आ जाएगा. तो भगवान जो है वो हमें मारते नहीं है, मगर भगवान हमारे जो खराब हमारे में से जो खराब चीजें हैं वो निकाल देते हैं. तो
that's what Jesus Christ said, that you don't hate the sinner, but you hate the sin itself, Persons are not bad by nature, actually, But by doing this bhakti process, how dramatic transformation of our personality takes place. So just because we are born that way, so particular combination of modes of material nature get born, we don't need to remain in that way. When we follow bhakti, when we chant Hare Krishna, when we hear his sweet pastimes, and we associate with sadhus, satsanga, then really dramatic transformation will take place in our personality. And there is a ample proof for centuries and centuries of observation is there. Those previously who were in a very kind of obnoxious personality, when they come to bhakti platform, the first and foremost thing they learn is humility. Everything is given to us by the Lord, actually, so that false pride will go away. This person, Kalia, had a tremendous false pride. He had that, Okay, anyway, you study those slides, you will know more about it, And in the meantime, Sharad Prabhuji is going to send you a script or so, what each one person is going to speak about that, okay? And let's hope, I'm hoping that it'll be fun, And you learn some important concept. Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. I have finished. We can have the Nrsinga prayers.
Lalita Mataji, please do.
Okay, Mother. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadayine. Praladadayine. हिरण्यकशी पूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकशी पूर्वक्षः शीलतङ्कानकालये शीलतङ्का नकालये इतो नृसिंहो परतो नृसिंहो इतो नृसिंहो परतो नृसिंहो यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंहो यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंहो बहि नृसिंहो हृदये नृसिंहो बहि नृसिंहो हृदये नृसिंहो नरसिंहमादिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमादिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरेणकाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गाम् दलित हिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नृसिंहदेव जय नृसिंहदेव जय नृसिंहदेव जय नृसिंहदेव जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद भक्ति विघ्न विनाश श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंह भगवान की जय श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय अपने अपने गुरु की जय हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू
Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you so much, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. So I wish you all wonderful, wonderful week ahead. And next week we'll be meeting again. And these wonderful, wonderful pastimes we are going to study.
We meet tomorrow, Prabhuji.
I'm sorry, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. But tomorrow is just lesson 49. Next week is the Kali Daman that we'll be talking about, Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But that is next week is not the Kali Daman is ongoing from next week onwards, Haribol, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
very
Thank
much.
you so much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Dandavat pranam. Dandavat pranam to all.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to all.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.